I love the blues because blues is a way to be really raw and aggressive and just slightly inappropriate without being offensive. I love the double entendres in blues. I love the innuendos. I love the confidence, and I love that everyone, I love how we brag in the blues, like Hoochie Coochie Man. It's one big honkin' brag song. John Henry, massive brag. Even Johnny Conqueroo, like there's this whole story behind Johnny Conqueroo and what Johnny Conqueroo is. So I love that blues lets you do that without kind of crossing that line into inappropriate. Every time I come in here, I decide I want a pink guitar.
He has them.
So I grew up in Kentucky. I moved here after college, and I was just programming. It's my day job. I'm a programmer, and I yell at doctors. When I turned 30, you kind of hit those milestones, and you kind of start to wonder, what the heck are you doing with your life? And I'm 30, and I'm married, but we're not really the type to have kids. We're just really independent and didn't really want kids. And it hit me. I really wanted to get into music again. I'd been in band and choir all through high school and college and just missed it. So I decided that I was going to start singing. Problem was that I was scared to death to sing in front of my friends, let alone an audience. So I started taking some voice lessons and decided that I was going to learn how to play guitar too. So I started taking some guitar lessons. And then my friend told me about this thing called the local blues jam, and I had never heard of this thing called a local blues jam. And if you have not been, I highly recommend that you go. They're the third Sunday of every month. They're hosted by the North Central Florida Blues Society. When you go, you're going to see a piece of paper on the table, and that piece of paper has time spots on it, 7 to 7:30, 8 to 8:30. And there will be columns down the page: guitar 1, guitar 2, drums, bass. So these musicians who may or may not know each other, who maybe have never seen each other before, show up to the blues jam, sign up for a time spot, and play songs. And it doesn't fall apart most of the time. And so I went to one of these, and I was enthralled. It was like, this is magic. How do you do this? How do you play with people that you've never met before? And how do you get this kind of rawness in this really cool, just intimate venue? So I was hooked, absolutely hooked. Got involved with the Blues Society. I've been involved with them pretty heavily ever since. So that's my first introduction to the blues official, as I went to a local blues jam because a buddy of mine told me I should, and I'm glad I did. So I wanted to start off with one of my favorite blues songs. It kind of embodies all of that attitude and that swagger and that confidence that I love about the blues. So this is an old Muddy Waters tune. It was, well, written by Willie Dixon, but Muddy Waters is the guy who made it famous. I think it was released in 1954. I'd have to look it up to be exactly sure. But this song has a couple of really cool elements that you're going to find all over the blues. It's got this stop time where, you stop, the voice continues. It has a lot of hoodoo elements, which again is a real appeal for me because my mom and dad being so religious, I'm like, I want to learn about African hoodoo. So some of the things that it references black cat bone, which is a lucky charm in hoodoo. It references mojo, which is an amulet, which is also sort of a lucky charm, but more of a magical connotation to it. Johnny Conqueroo is an African-American mythical hero. I don't know if you guys have ever read his story, but if not, go look it up. African-American, apparently he's sold as a slave in America, falls in love with the devil's daughter. Devil gives him these outrageous tasks to complete, like he's got to clear 60 acres by himself, and then he's got to sow and reap it that same day. Like, impossible. So he figures out, and he somehow manages to run off with the devil's daughter. But Johnny the Conqueroo is the reference to that. There's a plant that they would carry in their mojo bags, and it's the conqueror root, and so that is also a symbol of power. So all that and more in one tiny little song, and I love this song. This is originally called Hoochie Coochie Man, but I feel a little weird singing Hoochie Coochie Man because clearly not. So I changed it to Hoochie Coochie Woman. Gypsy once told my mother, before I was born, got a girl child coming, gonna be a hoochie woman, gonna make all the men jump up and shout, whole world gonna know what it's all about. Now, hey, everybody knows that I'm here. Hoochie Coochie Woman, babe. Everybody knows I'm here. Got the black hair bone, got the mojo too. I got that Johnny the Conqueror. I'm gonna mess with you, gonna make all you men leave me by the hand. Whole world will know this Hoochie Coochie Woman, and I'll hail. Everybody knows that I'm hell. Yeah, I'm a Hoochie Coochie Woman, babe. Everybody knows I'm hell. On the seventh hour, on that seventh day, on the seventh month, seven doctors say she was born for good luck. It's plain to see, I got $700 in my pocket, babe. Don't you mess with me. Everybody knows that I'm here. Hoochie Coochie Woman, babe. Everybody knows I'm here. On the seventh hour, on that seventh day, on the seventh month, seven doctors say she was born for good luck. That's plain to see, I got $700 in my pocket, babe. Don't you mess with me. Hey, everybody knows that I'm here. Yeah, I'm a Hoochie Coochie Woman, babe. Everybody knows I'm here. I'm here. One of the things that I like to do is I like to kind of take those things that I love about the old blues classics, and I like to try to put them into something of my own. So the next song that I'm going to do is kind of my version of that sort of bragging, larger-than-life song. I'll go ahead and give you the real story behind it. I had to buy pantyhose, and I hate pantyhose. And ladies, if you've had to buy pantyhose, you know that they come in like A, B, C, and queen size. Ain't nothing A, B, or C about this. I had to go with queen size. And I was a little irritated when I bought the pantyhose because I was in a hurry and I was at Walmart, and let's face it, Walmart is not good for your mood. And I got to thinking about this, and I'm like, you know what? There were a whole crap ton of letters between C and queen. Like, you could have gone to any of those, and I would have felt a little bit better about myself. And I was just kind of like, I obsess over stuff like this, and it was stuck in my head. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna own it. This is my thing. I'm gonna own it. So I decided that I was going to write this song called I'm Your Queen, and I had this idea, and then it's one of those things, I wake up in the middle of the night, and that's kind of how I write. I'm not one of those people who can sit down and write songs, so this is my version of a bragging song, I'm Your Queen. Hello, I'd like to introduce myself and say how do you do. I'll let you sit beside me, baby, and buy me a drink or two. Now I admit that you'll think me bold, and on that, well, you'd be right. But mama's looking for a plaything, and boy, you look like my type. Hello, baby, I am your queen. I want your royal servitude. I'm your larger than life lover with a plus size attitude. I done told you I am your queen, your queen to do it how you choose. Yeah, I know just what I want, right now mama wants you. Now listen, you ladies are all a lot smaller than me, and you're all super cute, so I don't want you to be offended, okay? Now, I admit that a skinny chick could be fun for a day or two, but she don't have the ocean to put into motion, rock your body the way that I do. And that skinny chick, well, she could be a real witch and drain your cash in a day or two. But I'm a self-supporting mama who can take care of Papa, bring the bacon on home to you. Hello, baby, I am your queen. I want your royal servitude. I'm your larger than life lover with a plus size attitude. I done told you I am your queen to do it how you choose. Yeah, I know just what I want, and right now mama wants you. My mom is so proud. Yeah. Now all those little girls, they can be such a bore, 'cause they all look just alike. Baby, look far and wide and you'll never find another swagger that's just like mine. Baby, you can get sold from that petite little girl with a bony and a small behind, but a rump with a lump that can donk, and you can rock and roll all night. Hello, baby, I am your queen. I want your royal servitude. I'm your larger than life lover with a plus size attitude. I done told you I am your queen to do it how you choose. Yeah, I know just what I want, and right now mama wants you. So when I'm in polite company, I'll skip the last verse because it gets a little raunchy even for them. But y'all don't count. Put down that drink, come and dance with me, and show me what you can do. I read a real man who knows where I stand and can handle what I can do. Baby, keep those hips working and keep mama jerking, and you play your cards just right. I'll take you home where we can be all alone, and I'll make you my king tonight. Hello, baby, I am your queen. I want your royal servitude. I'm your larger than life lover with a plus size attitude. I done told you I am your queen to do it how you choose. Yeah, I know just what I want, right now mama wants you. Right now mama wants you. Oh, right now mama wants you. This is another blues classic. This is called "The Sky's Crying." I love this song. There's been a lot of versions of this song over the years. I'd say my version is probably closest to Elmore James's version. I think he's the first one. I think he's also the guy who wrote it. But the song, one thing I do remember, they were actually in the middle of a recording session in Chicago, and it starts pouring. And they had to stop the recording session for a little while. It was just too loud. And they wrote "The Sky is Crying" as a result of that. It's been covered by Elmore James. It's been covered, most notably, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Everybody knows Stevie Ray Vaughan's version of "The Sky is Crying." It's kicking. That's not my version. I'm sorry. All right, "Sky is Crying." Oh, the sky is crying. Can you see the tears roll down the street? Oh, the sky is crying. Can you see the tears roll down the street? Oh, I've been looking for my baby. Wondering where that man can be. I saw my baby early one morning. He's walking down the street. Oh, I saw him early one morning. He's walking down the street. Oh, you know it hurt me real bad. Made my poor heart skip a beat. Oh, I got a real bad feeling. My baby don't love me no more. Oh, I got a real bad feeling. My baby don't love me no more. Oh, you know the sky's been crying. Can you see the tears roll out the door? This thing that we do in the blues, I'm sure you guys have all heard it, it's called a shuffle. If you're playing the blues, you need a shuffle song. It's just a rule. Somebody wrote it, I don't know who. So I needed to write a song. I needed to finish an album and was kind of running out of time. And this song is one of those songs. I was actually at work. I wasn't asleep in the middle of the night, and this song came to me. I am not allowed to play this song without a disclaimer. Here's my disclaimer. This song is not about my husband. Not about my husband at all. This is a song that I wrote called Minuteman. It uses the traditional blues shuffle. The verses stay on the one chord, so it's an elongated form of the traditional 12-bar blues. We just hang out on that one for the whole verse, and then when we go to the chorus, it's a standard 12-bar from there. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Minuteman. I'd like to apologize to all the men in the room in advance, because it's about to get awkward for you. All day and the time is right for Mama to satisfy her appetite. I go downtown, what do I see? Ain't nothing but Minutemen surrounding me. Minuteman, Minuteman. He can't do nothing better than my own right hand. Tell you it's getting harder to find a man who can keep me satisfied. I like 'em big and I like 'em mean, and the man's gotta roll all night with me. Minuteman, Minuteman. What part of ladies first do you just not understand? Now when it comes to loving, it ain't no race. Mama prefers that marathon pace. I want a man who's steady and strong, one who can rock me all night long. Minuteman, Minuteman. If you can't hold out, well that's a race that's better not ran. Now it's a fast-paced world that we live in, it's true. But let Mama give a piece of news. You should never rush the bump and grind, 'cause Mama wants a man who can take his time. Minuteman, Minuteman. What part of ladies first do you just not understand? He can't do nothing better than my own right hand. You know, I did grow up in Kentucky, and I grew up listening to country and bluegrass, and a lot of the times that kind of finds its way into what I write. And so I wanted to kind of do one of those that was kind of a mix. So this song is this really interesting mix of blues and bluegrass. And I wrote this as I was flying home. I was flying home in April, and I was flying into Huntington, West Virginia, and there's this little teeny tiny airport on top of a mountain. And there is not much extra space on the runway. If things go wrong, you're just going off the mountain, right? So I'm looking at, have you been? Have you flown in?
No, I have my boyfriend goes there.
It's totally creepy, right? It's beautiful. But we're flying in, and I've got the window seat because that is how I roll, ladies and gentlemen. I do not fly unless I'm in the window seat. And I'm looking out, and everything is still brown. Nothing is green yet. And I see all these beautiful mountains, and I haven't been home in like 3 years, and this line pops into my head. I come from mountains. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I want to do something with that, but I had no idea what I wanted to do with it. So I sat on it for months. It lived in a note in my phone. And then all of a sudden it occurred to me, I was talking to my mom on the phone one day, the mountains that I wanted to talk about, that I come from, are my mom and my dad, not necessarily the physical mountains. So I wrote this song, I Come From Mountains. You'll hear definite blues influences in there, and you will also hear some definite bluegrass influences. It's a little too bluegrass for the blues people and a little too blues for the bluegrass people, so you guys get to hear it. every dollar went to buy those kids a bed and laughed and her. Be kind, be strong, be gentle, she'd teach us every day. What I learned best from Mama's how to live a life of grace. I come from mountains, I come from mountains, I come from mountains. I shall not be moved. And wear those worn-out boots till they fell right off his feet. And wear a suit on Sunday to the Lord's house we would go. My father preached the word of God, he wanted us to know I come from mountains, I come from mountains, I come from mountains. I shall not be moved. Strength rushes through me like a river through my veins. My pride stands tall in the trees where I was raised. For 7 generations we have molded this dry earth. For 7 generations we have known our own worth. I come from mountains, I come from mountains, I come from mountains. I shall not be moved, I shall not be moved. Oh, I shall not be moved. Stupid. I normally play with a buddy of mine, Rick Rainlet, and Rick has two jobs. Rick does awesome solos, because I am not a lead player. So that's Rick's job. This next song I want to do is, it's a blues classic. It's been around so long we don't even know who actually wrote it or where it comes from. There's some debate that it may have come from an 18th century, I think it was a sailor or soldier song. This is called St. James Infirmary. And this is another one that has been done over and over and over, but it's just got this really cool vibe to it. A lot of the blues songs maybe don't fit the traditional blues form and maybe have jazz or bluegrass influences or soul influences, but even the experts can't really tell you what makes a blues song. Blues is more of a feeling and a way of singing and expressing, and a guitar style. It's more than just a form. So this is one of those songs. It's kind of an interesting mix of blues and jazz or rock, depending on who's covering it, because the chord structure kind of leaves it to be open to interpretation. I think it's Harry Connick Jr. does this, like somebody does this amazing version of it. I'm pretty sure it's Harry, where it's got this gorgeous piano intro, and then it kind of sounds more like a classical piano number for a while. So it's a really one of those tunes that it molds itself through time. As different people pick it up with different instruments, the tune just adapts really well. St. James Infirmary. Barroom at the corner of the square. The drinks were served as usual. The usual crowd was there. On my right stood Big Joe McKennedy. His eyes were bloodshot He took a look at the crowd around him, and this is what he said. I went down to the St. James Infirmary. I saw my baby there, stretched out on the table, so cold, so still, so fair. Let her go, God bless her. Well, she may be, she may search this wide world over, she'll never find a man like me. When I die, boys, won't you bury me in my high-top Stetson hat? Put a $20 gold piece on my watch chain, so the boys will know I died staying in pain. Now that you've heard my story, let's have another round of blues. And if anybody should ever ask you, I got them St. James Infirmary blues. You will inevitably hear me gripe about is I went to my, one of the blues jams, and I wanted to do Ain't No Sunshine, and I had some know-it-all guitar player tell me that ain't blues. Well, really? Okay, fine. This to me is a soul blues. It is not the traditional blues form, but this definitely has that blues feeling to it, more so than a lot of blues songs that follow the traditional form. This song was written by Bill Withers in 1971. I love this story. Bill Withers was a cool dude, and he was actually working in a factory, and he was making toilet seats for 747s, which I cannot think of a crappier job. Bad pun intended. He was working in this factory, and he wrote this song, and he was singing it at the factory one day as he was working. And he got to the classic part of the song where he repeats, I know, 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 like 1,000,000 times. And he was doing that simply because he didn't know what else to say. He had no other words. He meant to write more words. And one of the guys was like, no, that's cool, man, leave it. So he decided to leave it, and that's why Ain't No Sunshine has 1.5 million I know, I know, I know, I knows. And what's really kind of snarky and funny about this whole situation is after the record went gold, the record company, as a smart aleck move and a way of celebrating, gave him a gold Boeing 747 toilet seat. So congratulations. If you work hard and you write interesting songs, you too may own your very own gold toilet seat one day. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone. It's not warm when he's away. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone. He's always gone too long. Anytime he goes away. Under this town where he's gone. Wonder if he's going to stay. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone. He's always gone too long. Anytime he goes away. I know, 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 I know. Oh. When he's gone, on the darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone. He's always gone too long. Anytime he goes away. know, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. Oh, to leave the young thing alone. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone. On the darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone. He's always gone too long. And that time he goes away. And that time he goes away. And that time he goes away. You can't tell me that ended last year? No, earlier this year. I was very, very lucky and blessed. My partner Rick and I competed in the local North Central Florida Blues Society challenge, and we won the solo duo competition last year. And this was kind of the kick in the butt that I needed to like get myself together and finish writing songs and try to actually do an album. And so as part of that, you know, this is one of those songs that I wrote. But they say in every song it needs to be like 10% true. This one is probably 75% true. So it's interesting. Different songs have different amounts of truth to them. We were so stoked in Memphis though. So I had never been to Memphis. This was my first time, and I had heard all of these things. I'm like, what's the big deal with Gus's chicken, right? Who cares? Why am I freaking out about Miss Polly's again? Could somebody please tell me? So when we got to Memphis and we showed up the first day and played in Peoples on Beale, it was surreal. Like, I've never been in an environment like that where there's just blues everywhere you turn. Every club loaded with blues music and amazing musicians. I was walking down the street, and it was after our first show, and it's after midnight, and it's way past my bedtime. I go to bed at 9 p.m., and I'm not ashamed to admit it. So it's like midnight, and I'm walking down Beale Street, and I'm a little slap happy because it's after midnight. And I look over, and there in the Rum Boogie Cafe is Jeff Jensen. And ladies, if you do not know who Jeff Jensen is, you are not living your best life. This man is sex on a stick when he plays guitar, okay? You need to check him out. It's incredible, trust me. So I look over, and there he is, and he's like 10 feet away from me, and I'm freaking out, and Rick is with me, and I look over, and I'm like, Rick, buddy, I love you, but we're going in. So I go in, and I'm dropping every name that I know, trying to be cool, right, trying to make friends, and I totally dork out on Jeff Jensen. And then I turn around, and there is Anika Chambers, and then over there in the corner is Nikki Hill and her band, and it's incredible. One of the coolest experiences I've ever had. We were honored to make it to semifinals last year. I hope to go back, not this year, but maybe next year, and make it to finals. But semifinals, the level of talent was incredible. I got to meet a woman who had the most amazing stories. You know, you meet the coolest people, and everybody's just really kind of down home. But this is one of the songs that we did in the competition there in Memphis earlier this year. This is called Born with Wings. This is based on a Piedmont picking pattern. It's not technically a Piedmont song. It's kind of a weird influence of everything. Again, everything that I do has got all these weird influences to it. So you'll hear some of that. You'll hear a little bit of jazz influence at the end when I give up and just scat. Girl with ribbons and curls tells her mama she gon' change the world. Mama says, girl, you won't get far. Girl tells mama I was born a star. She sings, how do you walk when you were born with wings? How do you talk when you were born to sing? And how do you give up on your biggest dreams when you were built to shine for the world to see? One microphone and 6 worn out strings, 2 small shows in the last 3 weeks, 7 $1,000 worth of rice and beans, but she's got a hunger bigger than for bread. You see, she sings, how do you walk when you were born with wings? How do you talk when you were born to sing? And how do you give up on your biggest dreams when you were built to shine for the world to see? Just 13 miles and 2 exits to go for her audition for the next big show. She's low on gas, but she's full on faith, praying that today she gonna meet her fate. She sings, how do you walk when you were born with wings? How do you talk when you were born to sing? And how do you give up on your biggest dreams when you were built to shine for the world to see? She steps on stage and into the light, knowing in her gut that the moment is right. Looks at that judge and begins a song, and nothing was the same from the moment on. She sings, how do you walk when you were born with wings? How do you talk when you were born to sing? And how do you give up on your biggest dreams when you were built to shine for the world to see? How do you walk when you were born with wings? You know what, let's go back to more modern blues. I love Tracy Chapman, although I will have to admit I was a little confused. I was in high school when I first saw her video, and I was like, who is that? Tracy, is that a man or a woman? She's amazing, and it was a sound that I'd never heard before. And she was singing this song. She was singing Give Me One Reason. And this song is as traditional 12-bar as it gets in terms of form, but definitely more modern sounding, right? So just the way that she sings it, the words that she uses, it just kind of turns it into a more modern blues song. I thought it was really interesting. I learned the other day that she actually did this song on Saturday Night Live in like 1989 as a Christmas special. She didn't release it until like 1996. Like, I've never sat on a song that long. Like, maybe I should. Maybe then it would be this cool. But I love this groove, and if you go into any bar and you see girls doing karaoke, this is always one of the songs that the girls are going to sing, because you put this on, and ladies, immediately you got the swag, right? You are ending that relationship, and you're like, I dare you, give me one freaking reason. But it's interesting. It's just got this groove to it, and I can't quite explain it. Again, the blues kind of goes back to this feeling. So this is one of my favorite, more modern blues songs by Tracy Chapman. Give Me One Reason. I said, just give me one reason to stay. Oh, and I'll turn right back around. I said, I don't wanna leave you lonely. You gotta make me change my mind. Baby, I got your number. Oh, and I know that you got mine. Called you, I called too many times. You can't call me, baby. You can't call me anytime. You have to call. Give me one reason to stay, and I'll turn right back around. my mind. I don't want no one to squeeze me. They might take away my life. I don't want no one to squeeze me. They might take away my life. I just want someone to hold me, oh, and rock me through the night. This youthful heart can love you, oh, and give you what you need. I said this youthful heart can love you, oh, and give you what you need. But I'm too old to go chasing you around, wasting my precious energy. Give me one reason to stay, oh, and I'll turn right back around. I said just give me one reason to stay, oh, and I'll turn right back around. I said I don't want to leave you lonely, you gotta make me change my mind. Baby, just give me one reason, oh, give me just one reason why I should stay. Baby, just give me one reason, oh, give me just one reason why I should stay. I said I told you that I loved you, and there ain't no more to say. I'm going to throw in another one of mine. You know, we were in Memphis, and we were driving up to Memphis, and I was driving. I like to drive. I hate being a passenger. I get bored. So we were thinking about maybe doing this radio interview with this guy who's a staple in Memphis during the IBCs. He's not normally based out of Memphis, but his name is Vinnie Marini, and he does this really cool blues music show called Music from the Couch. And he has every blues musician who's making music today has been on that show at one point in time or another, myself included. So that's another great resource for anybody who's kind of interested in staying up to date and learning a little bit more behind the songs. But I'm ashamed to admit, hadn't heard Vinny's show. And we were thinking about going to his studio and doing a radio interview while we were in Memphis. So I thought, maybe it's a good idea to listen to his show and see what that's about, right? So as we're driving to Memphis, we put on the show and we're listening to Vinny's show on the way up, and he was playing a song that an artist had done, and I misheard a lyric. I thought that the lyric was just one man at a time, and I was like, oh, that's blues gold. That is blues gold. So I turned to my husband Mike, and I'm like, Mike, I need you to email me, and I need the subject of the email to say just one man at a time. And the chorus comes around again, and it was something completely different, but it didn't matter. The seed had been planted. So a couple days later, we're still in Memphis, and I've tried Gus's chicken. It is freaking spectacular. You should definitely eat it while you're there. And Miss Polly's Chicken and Waffles, amazing. There's a reason, there's a hype. Go check them out. So it was the morning of the semifinals, and I was too nervous. I couldn't sleep. I was all worked up. I'm like, oh my God, it's the semifinals. What am I going to do? And I was laying there. It's 4:30 in the morning. I still had not gotten to sleep. I had to go back down to People's later that night and do my semifinal show. And all of a sudden, I had this idea, and I'm typing frantically into my iPhone at 4:30 in the morning so that I don't lose this song. And so this is Just One Man at a Time. I recognize a lot of bragging in this one as well. I'd like to apologize again to the men. Made in his ear a time. Lord knows it's so hard to love just one man at a time. Lord knows it's so hard to love just one man at a time. And Lord knows it's so hard to love just one man. Just don't seem fair, I only get one at a time. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. An original. This is called "Ready for Loving You." This is traditional 12-bar kind of blues, kind of based on a funk pattern. I can't play this song out. There's an unspoken rule that Muddy Waters is the only person who gets to say "I'm ready." If you guys have seen the Viagra commercials on TV, I'm ready, ready for loving you. That's Muddy. Ain't nobody can make Viagra cool other than Muddy. Maybe John Lee Hooker, but let's face it, I'm pretty sure Muddy's got the market cornered. So it's funny because I wrote this song, and a lot of the times you don't even realize where your inferences are coming from. And so I played it for Rick. I'm like, Rick, I got this cool song. I like it. It's got this funky kind of vibe to it. And like, you can do amazing solo stuff on top of it. And he listened to it and he's like, you can't play that. Like, why not? It's like, dude, it's like way too close to Muddy Waters' "I'm Ready." Like, dude, have you read anything about the old blues guys? All they did was steal from one another. I'm like, I'm carrying a tradition. Rick does not agree. But if you've ever heard that song, you'll hear there's some similarities. So it's kind of an up-tempo funk kind of blues. You guys are actually the first people to hear it because Rick won't let me play it out, but he's not wrong. Jump out of bed long before the sun. Good to get my working done, baby. I'm ready to come home to you. You. Counting down the hours till I can come on home. Boss tries to keep me, but I tell him man I'm done. Baby, I'm ready to come home to you. Oh, I'm ready now. I'm ready for loving you. Whatever he wants, that's what I'll do. If he want a new car, I'll go out and buy him two. Cause baby, I'm ready. Ready for loving you. I'm ready now. I'm ready for loving you. I'm ready now. I'm ready for loving you. Ready for loving you. We'll do the short version. I want to introduce you guys to a trance blues. This is an interesting subgenre of blues, and it's kind of based on a repeating, like a looping pattern. And if you listen and just kind of let it do its thing, you kind of feel like you've been kind of tranced out by the time you get to the end of it. There are some guys who do trance blues. I'm trying to think of who they are. Honestly, you might have to Google it.
Yeah.
You won't even find it on Wikipedia, to be honest. Not even on Wikipedia. But I love it. I was playing around in Drop D one day, and it just kind of fell into this pattern. And so this is a really cool example of how a song can be really basic and simple, but kind of put you in that zone. So this is called How Long. Oh, how long must I wait? How long? How long? Oh, how long must I wait? Mother doesn't smile anymore. She just sits and stares at the door. She's waiting for some kind of sign that the mission's love is still alive. It's been years since you left this place, but she left all these things just the same. Every night she began to pray. All through the night she asked God the same thing. How long? How long? Oh, how long must I wait? How long? How long? Oh, how long must I wait? Father's walking over the drive, thinking what he's gonna say to his wife. She's in the chair when he opens the door. It's too late, so ain't there anymore. Father drops down to his knees, cries out, Lord, forgive me, please. For his sins now he has to pay. Won't see his wife until the judgment day. How long? How long? Oh, how long must I wait? How long? How long? Oh, how long must I wait? How long? How long? Oh, how long must I wait? How long? Oh, oh, how long must I So this song was actually written in 1940. Ray Charles and Aretha Franklin have both done versions of this song, which are really interesting because they're very, very similar, but they have different verses and different feels. There's just enough there to make it recognizable, though. But at first, when I was at a local acoustic blues open mic, and a friend of mine, Eddie Jacoby, he's passed away since then, but Eddie Jacoby was playing this song at an open mic one night, and I'm like, why the heck is Eddie Jacoby playing an Aretha Franklin song and playing it with the wrong verses, no less? So I was like, Eddie, that's not the way I learned that song. Like, I heard a different verse, and Eddie was so kind as to educate me that night that this was not an Aretha Franklin tune, that this was written by Walter Davis. And it's got a lot of different versions, so let's see. This is called Come Back Baby. Come back, baby, please don't go. Oh, the way I love you, you never know. Come back, baby, let's start it over one more time. Sweet on me, come back, baby, day. Oh, seem like tomorrow gonna be the same old way. Come back, baby. Can't we talk it over one more time? I just standing in the doorway crying. Oh, I had to go, leave that girl behind. Come back, baby. Let's talk it over one more time. I love you, baby. I can't help myself. Oh, I don't want you, don't nobody else. Come back, baby. Oh, let's talk it over one more time. Went to the mountain, looked at the sun. Ain't seen nobody love me like you have done. Come back, baby. Let's talk it over one more time. The guy who made this song famous is Louis Jordan. I don't know if you guys know who Louis Jordan is, but he is a hot freaking mess. So Louis Jordan was born in Arkansas, and he's this country boy, right? And he is playing in this band, and he's playing saxophone, I think, in the band. And the band leader is a dwarf who has tuberculosis. And he sees that this is not going to be a long-term gig, right? So he's got this great idea. He's like, you know what? I'm going to start my own band, and if I can convince the lead singer of this band, who happened to be Ella freaking Fitzgerald, who he was also dating, he's like, if I can convince Ella to come join my band, all the rest of these guys are in, right? I've got a whole ready-made band. All they had to do was screw over the band leader. So the band leader's in the hospital. He goes to Ella's room. He's going to woo her, right? So here's this reject country boy from Arkansas. He tries to woo her with a very romantic pair of toenail clippers. No joke. I looked it up. I was like, this cannot possibly be real. He could not possibly have been that dumb. No, he really was that dumb. He tried to give her toenail clippers. So Ella was having none of this, because she's Ella freaking Fitzgerald. Is going to take more than a pair of toenail clippers, and I can't tell the last time I was romanced by a pair of toenail clippers. So she tips off the band leader, and he shows up to the gig later that night, and he's out. He's fired. And so he has a little bit of money for severance, not much money, but I think his wife was also working in a cabaret dancing and had a little bit of extra money. And they had just enough money to buy 5 band suits. At the time, everybody was doing these big bands. This was, after decades of big band, big band, big band, big band, big band. We're over it, right? He wasn't over it on purpose. He could only afford 5. So he found his 5 guys, put them in his suits, and called his group Louis Jordan and the Timpani 5, I believe is what it was. Check me. Am I right? All right, cool, I'm right. So this was not on purpose. This was a decision of economy. And it turns out that he did it at just the right time, because everybody was sick of hearing these big bands. And so this small 5-piece band was like a revolution at the time. So all 5 of them had a job during all the songs. They weren't just sitting around waiting for like their turn to play like a half note. So this is one of the songs that kind of made him famous and made the band famous. It's another one of those songs that's been covered countless times. I would definitely recommend going and checking out some of those covers, but let the good times roll. Everybody, let's have some fun. You only live once, and when you're dead, glad you're done, so let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. I don't care if you're young or old, all you gotta do is get together and let the good times roll. Don't sit there mumbling, talking trash. You want a good time, go out and spend that cash and let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. I don't care if you're young or old, all you gotta do is get together and let the good times roll. Hey, Mr. Landlord, lock all the doors when the police come around. Till then the joint is closed and let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. I don't care if you're young or old, all you gotta do is get together and let the good times roll. Tell everybody I'm back in town, got $1.25 and I'm ready to clown. Don't let nobody play me cheap, cause I got 50 cents more than I intend to keep. And let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. I don't care if you're young or old, all you gotta do is get together and let the good times roll. I don't care whether it's stormy weather, it's the birds of a feather, gotta stick together. Get yourself out of control, get together and let the good times roll. Thank you. Oh, thank y'all so much. This has been fun. Baby, keep those hips working and keep mama jerking, and you play your cards just right. I'll take you home where we can be all alone, and I'll make you my king tonight. Hello, baby, I am your queen. I want your royal servitude. I'm your larger than life lover with a plus size attitude. And I told you I am your queen. Your queen to do it cause you choose. Yeah, I know just what I want, when the mama wants you. Right now mama wants you. Oh, right now mama wants you.